mind us. We're just here watching Happily Ever After on this Wind Down Wednesday. And why are we watching Happily Ever After? Because we got the news that the Crescent Lake Club has been dying through this pandemic to hear. And we're going to dive into that and talk about it. I'm not taking this down because I think it kind of makes me happy. It's like the ultimate... It's the ultimate sign that things are getting back to normal, and I can't believe it. Yes, you guys, fireworks are back at Epcot and Magic Kingdom starting on July 1st, and we'll get into more details with that. But shout out, hi everybody, as is normal, we made it to Wednesday, and it's Wind Down Wednesday. Cheers. If you're here looking for Teets, no Teets today, but I'm sure he'll pop up in the chat at some point to ultimately correct us. We were lucky enough to have him join us last week when it was just a firing squad, rapid fire topics. I mean, we could have done 3 hours, I think, last week of news if we wanted to. This week we have a lot of stuff to talk about too, but the most important being fireworks. But first off, let's just do a quick check-in. Haven't seen you on stream since last week. How are you doing, Courtney?
I'm doing well. Tonight, Keely and I kind of did our own thing. We are both a little busy. Summer is in full swing. And so I decided to recreate a cocktail that I got at the Barcelona bar in Grand Casino Tower, like a few weeks after it opened, actually in 2019. And they had a create your own gin and tonic menu. I have not been back since, and I could not find evidence online that it came back post-pandemic, but I also don't know that it didn't. But they basically had all of their own tonics that they made at the Barcelona bar in Grand Casino Tower. And you could pair it with whatever gin you wanted. And they gave suggestions based on like the aromatics of the tonic and whatnot. It was really cool and really good. And the bartender there was phenomenal in helping me create my own cocktail. Like I said, this was summer of 2019. And so a few weeks ago when I was at Whole Foods, I had seen this, lime, mint, elderflower, sparkling water. And it reminded me of that cocktail. So I just used that and a little bit of seersucker gin with a little bit of lime. And it's really good and really refreshing. Really easy to make because it's just, I mean, it's not officially tonic water, it's sparkling water, but it's really good and no calories because it's sparkling water.
And on a day like today when it was like 110 down here in New Orleans, that sounds absolutely refreshing. I probably should have gone cocktail, but I knew we were going to be talking fireworks. And when I think of fireworks and Ever After, I think of California Grill. So I grabbed a bottle of my favorite rosé on the wine menu at California Grill, Whispering Angel. I think we went through 2 bottles of this on my birthday at California Grill. So I thought it's kind of a California Grill Happily Ever After tradition that me and the girls have had for years is rosé, Cali Grill, fireworks. So that's what I had on the brain today. I've got my Minnie Mouse ears. I decided to go classic today. I saw Courtney was all fireworked out, so I had to bring a little sparkle too. Look at that. So yeah, we are showing you guys Happily Ever After. This is the actual official Disney Parks stream. As you can see, that just popped up in that banner. The Fireworks Spectaculars return this July 1st to be exact. And boy, this has been a long time coming. We've been, I feel like in our CLC group chats on a weekly, if not daily basis, it's hey Teets, hey Teets, hey Teets, hey Teets. When are we getting fireworks back? When are we getting Fantasmic back? When are we getting fireworks back? Well, Walt has listened and he's decided we've been good. And for our first Christmas in July gift, he's giving us back both Happily Ever After at Magic Kingdom and no, not Harmonious, but we are getting Epcot Forever at the World Showcase Lagoon at Epcot.
Without drone things.
No drones, no jet ski kites, which is kind of a disappointment, but with those big apparatuses that the barges and the ring and all that kind of stuff that Harmonious requires and that are permanent, I think it would be a little dangerous and hazardous, and who knows, one of those kites could go totally crazy and cause something that will keep Harmonious from us even longer. So I'm okay with it. I'm fine. I just want fireworks. That's all I want.
Yeah.
I just want fireworks.
Yeah.
Which is perfect timing because 3 of us will be at the resort multiple times in July. So I think Ryan is there first, and he already has park passes for Magic Kingdom to see fireworks.
He hopped on that as soon as the rumor started flying, because I believe last I checked, Magic Kingdom is out of park passes for July 1. But Teeth saw the writing on the wall. He knew this was coming, and he reserved himself a park pass for July a few weeks ago. So he will be there live streaming. He will be collecting all the information, bringing it all to you live and in person the first night of fireworks, July 1.
And then we will be back, and I think we may try a challenge of our own. So not only did we get the announcement that fireworks are back, we got expanded hours in July, and we also got information on when the fireworks are going to be occurring. And so Happily Ever After is going to happen at 9:15, and then Epcot Forever will be at 10. And Happily Ever After, as we're watching it, you guys will see, is just around 18 minutes. So I think we might try one night to watch Happily Ever After from the beach at the Polynesian, and then book it as fast as we can over to Epcot and see if we can get there in time for Epcot Forever. And then, of course, live stream this all for you, including the crazy drive from Poly to Epcot. What do you think? Challenge accepted?
Challenge accepted. In the words of Barney Stinson. Yeah. Challenge accepted.
So we've been talking, the 3 of us, since we're going to be there multiple times in July, about some fun new content that we can bring you guys. I know that you like hearing us talk, but we're going to be there. We're going to be able to go live and bring you things that you want to see live from the resort. So that is our first thing. And your Epcot is scheduled for the 21st?
22nd. No, Animal 26th? Kingdom on the 21st. Yeah.
Okay.
Magic Kingdom, Animal.
Perfect. And then, so it is, go ahead and mark your calendars. The Ultimate Fireworks Stream Challenge will go down live on our YouTube channel on July 22nd. So you snooze, you lose. That's why you need to go ahead and hit that red subscribe button, hit the bell notification. I'm sure we'll be talking about it on social media and just getting you kind of hyped. I've already started strategizing how this is going to work. It's going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. Just got to make sure my gimbal and my phone is charged.
Sounds
I'll
good.
bring extra batteries. It'll be fun.
And you'll have to drive because I will be on a Hotard bus, so can't take that around.
No, the official Jeep of the Crescent Lake Club will be ready to shuttle us around. I've got my strategy all done. I probably should try and find a dinner reservation at Kona or something so we can park at Poly without grief. That's what I'll do after stream. I was going to look up something today, and I can't remember why I didn't do that. So, also, as an aside, if you guys haven't checked out CrescentLakeClub.com this week, it's funny that we're talking about fireworks and nighttime spectaculars. Teets has also been working on a great series celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Walt Disney World Resort on our blog called Making Memories. And each week he takes a historic look at something from the 50 years of history of Walt Disney World. And this week, it was nighttime spectaculars. It's like he kind of knew we were going to have an announcement coming our way. So he does some really, really great work on that. So be sure your free time while you're waiting for the July 1st fireworks to happen to check that out on our blog.
And if you're not following the blog and our social channels, I'm really just going to put a plug in for right now. Not only do we have what I've been calling color commentary, like Teets's Making Memories and our foodie finds and all of these other like opinion pieces, but Teets in particular is faster than some of the most popular Disney blogs out there. He broke the news about fireworks faster than other blogs that I'm not going to name that are huge and have a huge presence in the Disney space, so to speak. And he broke the news of the fireworks accurately before they did. So
yeah.
he is fast on the trigger, and he will get you accurate news, not just rumors, as fast or before anyone else. So follow along our website, Crescent Lake Club, and also on Instagram and Twitter. And thanks
and
for all of that. And Facebook, yeah.
So now that we've given Teets his plug, and he's not even here in the chat to get all beamy about it. See, we couldn't do this last week because it would have just gone to his head, and then his little teensy head wouldn't fit in the screen anymore. So we had to wait until he wasn't on stream with us. So we're getting Epcot Forever, which is kind of surprising, kind of not, because I really do think they're saving Harmonious for October 1st as well. It's starting to shape up like that. Crescent Lake Club, October 1st day is going to be one, a long one, and two, really, really full. So, yeah, it looks like we'll probably start the day at Magic Kingdom, and if all goes correctly, end the day at Epcot to see the new Harmonious show, maybe squeeze in a ride on Rat. Who knows? We did have an interesting talk about Ratatouille this week in the ride and what we thought might happen with the ride when it opens in October. If it's going to be boarding pass like we're seeing with both Rise of the Resistance and Web Slingers out at Disneyland, if it's just going to be a straight queue, how they're going to do things. And Courtney, what do you think is going to happen with Remy's Ratatouille adventure?
I am going to take the Teets position on this. Since the ride is already ready, since it was pointed out to me or I was reminded that the ride is the same as it is in Paris, that I don't think we're going to see any kind of special ride pass or early access day of, because I think people are going to have the opportunity to ride it well before opening day. Was it you or Teets that pointed out that Club 33 has already been promised early access? I have to assume they're going to do cast member previews soon. So we'll see it all before. And like I said, we've seen it already. I haven't seen it, but people
I haven't either.
Already. It's not brand new.
No. So we did get, I think Tron or Guardians of the Galaxy will probably be the next two that go at boarding pass. And I can absolutely understand why until they can get an idea of what the throughput for the ride is and how to manage those. We did hear rumors that Club 33 at Walt Disney World has already been told that they will get preview access to the ride sometime this summer. It makes sense, July or August. And yeah, we'll see cast member previews. I'm sure we'll see annual pass holder previews. And that'll definitely take some of the capacity down for it too. So hopefully we don't have to wait more than like 2 hours on Saturday morning to ride it.
Because how long? I know it's a different park and it's a different experience completely. But how long was Velocicoaster open before it officially opened? Like a month, huh?
I can tell you. So I got my. Let me Google that for you, because I had my annual pass holder preview that I didn't get to go to. We got invited on here it is on April 22nd, and then my annual pass holder preview was supposed to be on May 5th, and they ran that for a long weekend. The next weekend they did team previews, and then next weekend. So that was the third weekend, right around Memorial Day, I'm guessing. Yeah, when they went into technical previews, which means it was just open. So almost a full 2 months of being open for softs or technical previews for Velocicoaster, and that bad boy, it's still, sometimes it'll get up to 60 or 75 minutes, but it also has a single rider line, and it's clocking in at a cool 30 to 45. So I guess the thing that we can kind of compare it to most recently, and what makes me think that I agree with you and Teets that it's just going to be come one, come all, is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. They didn't do boarding passes, and they did previews for that one too, and they decided just to let that bad boy open. And it is another high efficient throughput that's also a trackless ride. So yeah, I think it's just going to be come stand in line and get ready.
You know what I'm excited about?
What?
I have not seen the pre-show for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Said it right that time, first try. I haven't seen the pre-show for that because when we went in Mardi Gras of 2020, it hadn't opened yet. It was open for like a week before everything shut down for the pandemic. Because I didn't see it.
Woody and Loie were there the weekend it opened, and then everything closed down. So they got to be there for their last day was opening day.
So
they came home. November and then my birthday, but I haven't seen the pre-show.
The pre-show, right? I haven't seen the pre-show either. So something to look forward to. Something new to look forward to. New to me.
I know. I'm looking forward to that too. And we just got news on Boots on the Ground news today that the pre-show is back, and it is just one of multiple pre-shows that have returned across both resorts. We got word on Monday that Gringotts and a couple of other rides at Universal had returned. Gringotts and Hagrid's, at least, had returned their pre-shows. And so for Disney, we definitely got Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and I'm trying to think.
Stretching room.
More. We got the stretching room. We got the stretching room back, which that's probably the most iconic pre-show, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Tower of Terror is another one.
Yeah, I was going to say Tower of Terror. But yeah, so that's really exciting. The stretching room freaks out my son, so I'm excited to bring him there in July.
He's a year older.
He's a year older,
Technically. But other things we got. So yesterday was the first mask-free day at Walt Disney World. So they have updated their mask policy to reflect that of Universal Orlando, which did away with their mask policy about 2 weeks ago. So now the only time, if you are fully vaccinated, the only time you need to wear a mask at both resorts is really just on transportation. So like a bus, a monorail, a boat. But no more masks on rides, in queues, in stores,
in restaurants.
Restaurants. We're never going to get that official we're back at full capacity update. They're just going to kind of let our eyes be the guide on moving forward.
Didn't Universal say that they were at full capacity? I think they're going to get tricked into saying it like Universal did. They're not going to send out a press release saying we're at full capacity, but somebody's gonna be asked a question, and the cat's gonna go out of the bag.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not like we can't tell. They've done away with all of the social distancing guidelines, like markers on the ground, and they're basically just relying on you to police yourselves and don't get up too much in anybody's business. So it's become a real just kind of on now. You're vaccinated, and you can go back to behaving normal. So be on your best behavior. So that was some other big news. We've been, again, the Crescent Lake Club, because we're all about travel and booking travel and planning travel, and currently stressing about planning our own travel and what the late summer and fall months might hold, speculating on just a few of the remaining on-property hotels that haven't reopened. And yesterday, we got an announcement about one of the remaining deluxe hotel. I think it is the remaining deluxe hotel.
Yeah. Because
to
now we only
reopen.
have 4 resorts left total.
Yep. Yeah. So we got word yesterday that in August 26th, I believe, Animal Kingdom Lodge Jumbo House will be opening for regular resort cash non-DVC guests. And it is already booking up like crazy. So I'm thinking, so we're missing a couple of the All-Stars and we're missing Port Orleans,
Womp womp.
which I know. I was feeling like we were going to get some news about Port Orleans. We may sooner rather than later. But what's your take on hearing about Animal Kingdom Lodge reopening?
I immediately checked what the prices were for the 50th and decided I'm going to cross my fingers for Port Orleans. We already have, hotel reservations for the 50th, but that can always change. We're months away. Things can change.
Listen, there was a Mardi Gras centric conversation. Maybe this wasn't a conversation so much. It was all caps list of demands for maybe me that said I want to stay at French Quarter and go from French Quarter straight on to the Carnival Mardi Gras in October. But oddly enough, nobody really had an issue with that. So
no,
I think Courtney just wants to be back at her favorite resort, which is Port Orleans, and
which is so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous because I live in New Orleans, but the feeling of that resort, and it's not my favorite. It's my favorite moderate. My favorite is Beach Club. I mean, hands down is Beach Club.
We are the Crescent Lake Club,
right? So it is I understand the ridiculousness that someone from New Orleans' favorite resort is the one that's themed after New Orleans. But I just love it. And I don't think there's any other moderate that feels as cozy and I wouldn't say it feels like a deluxe because it definitely does not feel like a deluxe. Like it does not have the amenities that a deluxe resort has, but it also doesn't feel cheap and huge and I don't know, value.
Yeah. I've never stayed there, so we're dwindling down to I've never stayed at Port Orleans. I've never stayed at Wilderness Lodge or the Contemporary Old Key West. And that will be it for me. I've crossed off all the resorts on property. But now, keep in mind, I've been growing up there and still having parents there. I've been pretty lucky to go and just do one-off nights on a Florida resident rate and stuff. So, I did say I'd prefer to stay at French Quarter, but if we can get a 5-person princess room, I guess, which is in Riverside. I mean, I live Riverside, so it's fine. It'll just feel just like at home. Get to see my girl Tiana on the wall. So I guess that's the biggest thing we're watching for. Speculation. I think we're gonna get, if they're doing Animal Kingdom Lodge in August, I think we get Port Orleans and the All-Stars back in September because they really want capacity to be max as many people as possible by October 1st, especially because it's the 50th. And it's like we looked the other day is, so they gave us, before the pandemic, at D23 or whatever meeting it was, they gave us the whole spiel about how there were going to be 50 brand new things for the 50th. And what COVID did was it took so much away from us from Disney. And so then for the 50th, just giving us back all these things that we don't have in the parks currently feels like, okay, yeah, you can put that towards 50 things. I'll take Fantasmic on October. Well, it can't be October 1st because I don't know how we squeeze anything else out into that day.
No. Yeah.
So there's that. What else I feel like I'm missing one other thing. Disney related.
In terms of what we're still waiting on?
Or no, we got one other piece of news, didn't we? I should call up CrescentLakeClub.com.
There's still big things while you're doing that. There's still big things we're waiting on. You still can't buy an annual pass. You can only renew them. And who knows what that'll look like, if they'll bring back, how it was in the past, or if they'll change the system. For World or Land, you can't buy an annual pass. We have no word on Run Disney. about anything.
Oh, I've got a word, but Teets doesn't want to hear it.
Well, we have no word whether it's coming back or not at all. What else are we waiting for? No meet and greets in like the traditional sense, or parades. I'm fine with cavalcades. I don't care if parades never come back. I'm fine if it's just cavalcades. Yeah, those are some of the major things we're still waiting to come back. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique and the spas in general.
Yes.
I do think I think we'll hear something about the spas and Bibbidi Bobbidi soon, because it's coming back at ALLLLL, like, or it is. I think it is reopened.
It's started on the 15th.
So I hope that means we'll hear some stuff sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not shy about releasing stuff anytime, like right now. So
they like doing these little news drops. And again, if it's June, if you tell me September, that's fine. I'm patient.
That's fine. Yeah.
I'm good. So yeah, we got that. No news on Disney Cruise Line, though they did petition the CDC to do a test sailing of the Disney Dream, and we're still waiting to hear what plans are for that. Now, this week they did go ahead and cancel sailings on the Magic and the Wonder up through, I want to say, November for those ships, but they are keeping the Dream and the Fantasy alive for sailings at the end of August. And I think we'll know something sooner rather than later on what they choose to do with the Disney Dream out of Port Canaveral, mostly because Royal Caribbean had their first ship go off this week without a hitch. We've got Carnival that is looking to sail on the 26th, so about a week from now, maybe 2 weeks for their first sailing. And Royal Caribbean is also looking for a July 3rd domestic loop after doing test cruises. And we should be hearing what I think Disney is going to try and see what a combination of the two do, best practices from that. I think August 26th, if you are currently booked on the Disney Dream out of Port Canaveral for any cruise after August 26th, I think August, September, you got a 60-40 shot. I think October, you got an 80-20 shot. And I think if you are sailing after November 1st, when the conditional sail order from the CDC expires, I don't foresee it being as strenuously renewed. I think all of the holiday sailings, at least on the Disney Dream and the Disney Fantasy, will be a go. So that's my cruise thoughts on that. The Wish is still selling like hotcakes. This conditional sail order will have nothing to do with the Wish. So it's still incredibly popular. People just can't wait to get on board this massive Disney ship full of just IP coming out of its ears. So much IP. Yeah. Teets hates IP, but he loves IP on a Disney cruise ship. You're actually booked next summer on the Disney Wish, and what are you most excited for about that? I don't think we've talked about it since you booked.
No, I'm excited that they're. You said, there's a lot of IP, but it's not all princesses. It's not all super girly. My husband and brother-in-law are gonna love the Star Wars bar. They probably won't leave it. They'll be in there the whole time. But they're also like the Toy Story splash area looks really cute. It's just there's something for everybody. Boys, girls, all ages. I mean, the ship's huge. We're already talking about only getting off in Castaway Cay, not getting off. I think our other stop is Nassau.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I've been looking at so many different cruises for so many different things. But we're talking about, I mean, we might get off, who knows, but just staying on board another day, just to have that extra time to explore the ship, because there's so much to do.
Also,
so much
Nassau, they should still be doing that special fancy adults only brunch in the Palos Steakhouse, which I think is $25. And as the rest of the CLC that went on the Disney Dream with me in 2018 can attest, was probably the best 3 hours we spent on the ship. And then we followed it up with the mixology class. And it was just like the best day in Nassau ever without ever getting off the ship.
Getting off. Yeah.
got to experience Disney Cruise Line at its finest. So if that is something you're interested in, if checking out a brand new ship on its first season of sailing, I would suggest you contact one of us. Pretty lickety split, as rooms are gone. Categories are sold out across so many of the early summer sailings. I believe it's not sailing for the first time until what, May?
No, the inaugural is in June.
Is it June? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to cough real quick.
Yeah.
So typically it'll have 2 to 3 short sailings for media, for trade. Most cruise lines tend to do like a naming ceremony that just are cruises to nowhere, just for everyone to get to kind of experience the ship prior to the inaugural. So as Disney is wont to do, they love to have a morning show out there to see everything live before everyone sees it. So you're definitely going to be able to get some views of that ship, and probably even some once it starts leaving Europe to come to the United States, because it's being built in Europe. Most cruise ships are built in Europe. So I'm sure they'll have someone embedded on the ship to show everybody the cool features, and we'll get some really great studio production footage. We'll get to see more of some of the special amenities on that. Like Teets and I have speculated, I think the Frozen dining room is going to be an actual dining room you visit, kind of like Tiana's place or Rapunzel's birthday celebration on the Magic and the Wonder. I'm thinking that this Marvel, like, kind of superheroes dinner theater escape room type thing may be an upcharge, but we'll see. I've been wrong before. I was wrong about most of my predictions for the Disney Wish, but I got the Star Wars bar right. That was the only thing I got right.
I'd pay for an escape room on board.
I would too. The Royal Caribbean ship that I'm looking at has an escape. Well, the Mardi Gras has an escape room.
Yeah. Mardi Gras has everything. Literally everything.
Like literally everything. We're on there for 7 days, and we have 3 days at sea, and I'm still not even sure we're going to be able to accomplish everything.
It's huge. It's ginormous.
It's huge. It's massive. We watched a little bit of video footage of it last week coming around into Port Canaveral, and its max passenger capacity is like 7,000 people. This is either going to be really awesome, or it's going to be the modern day Titanic.
Just know where your life vest is. Know where your life vest is.
I'm a really good swimmer, so it should be okay.
And you're also not going to hit an iceberg in the Caribbean.
Yeah, the Caribbean will probably be pretty warm, so it'll be okay.
Yeah.
I think if it is Carnival, so I mostly have to worry about like a poop ship situation, like the Horizon a few years ago. That was my biggest worry. So yeah, we got some cruise news. Alaska sailings are about to start up, and that's Carnival, Celebrity, Norwegian, and Royal Caribbean. There's a lot of great rates for that, and most of the cruise lines have been able to extend their Alaska season into October. So if you live in the South, like Nola Disney Mama and I do, and want a fun family vacation where you can beat the heat, might we talk to you a little bit about Alaska in the summer? You can get on Royal Caribbean and Carnival. I am seeing inside and ocean view staterooms starting as low as $4.99 and $5.99 per person, respectively. That's for a 7-night sailing out of Seattle. You'll do two glacier arms that you cruise through. Stops in Ketchikan, Juneau, Skagway, Sitka, a bunch of cute little towns. You can go fishing, you can go whale watching. If you're not allergic to shellfish, you can eat crab.
It's really good.
Really good. I know. I had so much at Tracy's Crab Shack in Juneau, my favorite. It's so funny story. Mr. Worldwide is here, obviously, but my mom came in town today, and her favorite restaurant is on this big street right by my house. But it's basically all oysters and shrimp and crab. And I was like, look, I know you're going to want to go there. I'm streaming tonight, so I would appreciate you guys going tonight by yourselves to go eat all of those things, so I don't have to sit across from me at the table and have a Caesar salad and a bread roll.
Sorry.
This
Sorry
city
for
is
your
going to be
loss.
so. This city is. It's truly a loss. This city is going to be impossible to live in. Anyway, so Alaska. I've been to Alaska. Courtney has been to Alaska. I am looking to go back to Alaska in August on the Celebrity Millennium, which also leaves out of Seattle. That's a little bit more upscale or a little more adult. And those rooms are starting. Ocean View is the lowest category that Celebrity is doing, and those are starting between $659 and $799 for a 7-day per person.
But that is still incredible.
It's still incredible. But at that rate on Celebrity has shifted all their booking packages to become what's called all included. So not only do you get your classic beverage package, which is unlimited alcohol up to $12 a drink or glass of wine, you also get unlimited internet for both of you in your staterooms, the two of you. And you can either get prepaid gratuities or you can get credit that you can use for excursions up to $500 per person in your stateroom, depending on what you book. So all of that is just kind of baked in. If you're planning to do excursions, something like this is a way to do it, because if you're on a balcony and getting those $500 per person, that's $1,000.
Right.
At $1,000 per person in a balcony, you're making money on that deal between the excursions and the internet and the drinks. So yeah, if you're interested in anything in Alaska, those are really starting to sell now, especially for the month of August, right before kiddos go back to school, even a little bit into September. Most cruise lines just announced the October dates. They're adding like 2 or 3 dates in October this week. So I imagine those will start getting a little too chilly. And if you have interest in salmon fishing, it's probably not the time to go, but you actually have a better chance of seeing killer whales in late September and early October on a cruise out of Alaska.
It's also probably going to be really choppy in October. When we went late September because we were there for my birthday. Mm-hmm. And it was really choppy. There was one day at sea that was, I've been on, I don't know, maybe 10 cruises in my life, and I've never gotten seasick. And that day I got seasick. If that's something you're prone to, maybe don't consider October. Yeah. But like I said, lots of cruises in my life, and that was the only time.
I'm really interested to see how they do these too, now that they don't require you to come out of the arm, out of like the protected areas along the glaciers, to do a stop at Victoria. And if maybe you do your last day at sea before you get to Seattle, more protected in that kind of glacier arm area. Yeah. So I'm going to be really excited. I think the first one for Alaska may be Norwegian on the Bliss on June 26th. So all these cruises are coming up fast and furious. Yeah. So I'm really excited to see the first returns from Alaska. So far, everybody is really loving the 2 different cruises out of the Caribbean. No masks required on board. For the Adventure of the Seas by Royal Caribbean, it's out of Nassau, and they are requiring you just now, and it may just be for the next couple of weeks, to take an antigen test right before you board. So a rapid test, it's covered, it's paid for by the cruise line. You get a text alert, and as soon as you get that your test is negative, that's when you go, and they allow you to go ahead and board the ship. So that's also kind of how they're controlling the big crowds that are getting on the ship. The only other thing is changes the buffet. But I think we all knew that with cruising, the buffet was going to be the guy that takes the biggest hit. So it's still a plethora of options, but you don't get to scoop it yourself. A server behind the sneeze guard is going to scoop it for you. On the Royal Caribbean ship, though, the buffet is only breakfast and lunch, no dinner. They're requiring everyone into the main dining room or specialty dining room, which I do follow a couple on YouTube that was really disappointed. They're big buffet people for dinner, and they're like, oh, we have to go to the dining room. So if that's something you guys aren't interested in, you may want to look at a different line that is still offering the buffet at dinner. I know the Celebrity Millennium is. We haven't had any other ships go out, but we'll keep you guys updated on all of that. We got some Disneyland news. So all of the hotels at Disneyland are now officially back open. Nobody celebrated Paradise Pier reopening today, and that makes me sad because it's probably my second favorite. Grand Californian is my favorite. But it's
and
all
some discounts in Disneyland, right?
Yes, I think we just got an email about that earlier today too.
Yeah, I was trying to log in to see what the dates were because I forgot. But yeah, discounts if you want to go out to Disneyland this early fall. Up to
And while she's
25% on the Disneyland hotel.
nice.
Yeah. Or no, sorry, up to 25% at Grand California and up to 20% at Disneyland Hotel. Booking through September 16th, travel by October 3rd. So, an early fall discount. Pretty good. I mean, I feel like we don't really see discounts that frequently out in Disneyland because we're only looking at 3 resorts out there.
Yeah.
So,
and they do have a great relationship with a lot of good neighbor hotels nearby that can be booked through
right.
Disney Travel Agent Company, which is something that we can help you guys out if that's something you're considering. And in fact, some of them are even closer to the parks than, say, Paradise Pier. So that's also something to consider. Another thing, if you're kind of on the fence about a fall trip, right now, hotels are booking up fast and furious. And it is mostly because it's going to be spooky season. And we know that the parks will be decorated, at least Magic Kingdom will be decorated for Halloween starting August 8th, which still seems really early to me, but I'm going to let it slide because, we have been in a pandemic. But it seems each week we're getting more and more Boo Bash after hours dates. And just today we got more dates added. So if you were originally looking for a trip this fall and Boo Bash sold out, check with one of us and we can let you know because even more dates got added for after hours Boo Bash at Magic Kingdom. And that this is kind of the spooky season event that's going to replace Not So Scary Halloween Party. We also did get a little bit of insight on how that is going to work with the fireworks announcement. So there still will not be special fireworks for the after hours Boo Bash. It is just going to operate just like a little bit of a fancier after hours event with the trick-or-treating and maybe some special photo pass and character cavalcades. No parade, no extra fireworks. But if you are planning to go to the parks and you don't want to do Boo Bash, but you want to go during the spooky season, you will be able to see Happily Ever After before the park closes and clears out for after hours guests. So don't let that hold you back from snagging one of the last hotel rooms during the spooky season at Walt Disney World Resort at a fair to decent rate.
Right. Yeah. And just so you know, if you've never been for one of these parties or one of these after hours events, if you're like, well, how are they going to know to kick me out of the park? What if I get in there at noon and just stay until? It doesn't work like that. If you enter for the party or if you are already in the park and have tickets for the party, they give you a wristband that you put on.
I've got one. I'll grab one.
Ooh, yeah. And that'll let any cast member know that you are there for the party, there for the after hours event. Then once the event has officially begun, whether you're trying to get in a queue for a ride, get into a restaurant, shop at a merchandise location, basically anywhere that a cast member sees you, if you don't have that band on, they're going to politely escort you out the park. Not escort, they're going to ask you to leave the park. And so you can't even do anything if you were to stay in there. When there were shows, there'd be cast members going around checking to make sure you have that wristband on. So that's just, if you're curious about how that works, that's how it works. You can't really sneak around and staying in the party. Yeah, exactly. Without having that wristband.
And for those of you who think you're sneaky and sly, if you want to keep it on the next day and try to go to the next day, they change colors every day. So if you can kind of look around at your resort pool and see who went the night before, because everybody tends, once you get one of these wristbands, just I guess it's like a status thing. You just tend to keep them on for the remainder of your vacation, just so everybody knows that you went to the after hours event.
But yeah, it's a clever, I think it's a genius way to do it because, if you're someone who went into the park at noon and wanted to stay through your party reservation, it's not like they actually clear the park out. I don't know. I think they do it really well. It's a really smart and smooth transition. And when I say like they escort you out of the park, they of course do it in their friendly Disney way, with the 2 fingers or the whole hand.
Yeah, and you'll start seeing, they usually tend to, once the fireworks ends and the after hours event starts, and usually, it's going to be 3 or 4 p.m. is when they'll actually start doing wristband distribution. So if you aren't doing a park reservation or a park ticket for that day, just keep a watch on our website, crescentlakeclub.com, and we will tell you guys what time you can go in. So again, it's just a 3-hour or so after hours event, but then if you go in an extra 3 hours early when you get your wristband, you can knock out a couple of rides. You can see Happily Ever After, and then you can get on with your lower crowd part of your day in Magic Kingdom. So it actually, when you think about that, it works out to be a pretty decent deal. But you can go ahead and grab your wristband whenever. Even there's usually one stop at the park entrance, and there'll be one other somewhere else in the park where you can go and get your wristband.
Usually Tomorrowland,
like the Tomorrowland Terrace kind of area. But then you'll start seeing, they'll usually let guests linger for about 30 minutes on Main Street to shop, but you'll start seeing the packed cast members with their sign and their flashlights looking for wristbands and stuff, kind of closing in. And if you're waiting in line for a ride when the after hours event starts, you'll get to ride, but they really will, unless you just have a wristband, kind of push you down to the hub and push you out the exit. But that's how that works. And also for the Halloween events, that's when you get your wristband is when you get your bag for trick or treat candy too. So
the one time we did the Very Merry Christmas party, we didn't have a park ticket for that day, but we got on the bus at like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. I forgot what it was. Late afternoon, mid-afternoon, got to the park and had a full park day because we were then in the park until late at night. So we did like a pool, relaxing day. We were staying at Boardwalk that time. So just, hung out on Crescent Lake in the morning, and then we went to the park in the afternoon and evening. It was great.
That's perfect. I think that's kind of what we're looking at for our content trip at the end of July. Is finding more fun things we can do on camera to entertain you guys. It should be great. It's going to be hard to we're going to crush this nighttime spectacular challenge
with 2 kids.
No, this first time
just
give me Phantasmic, you cowards. Just give me Phantasmic.
Yeah. And a dessert party.
But mostly Phantasmic. Rivers of Light.
No. I'm fine if I never see Rivers of Light again.
Rivers of Light can die for us to have Phantasmic.
We can do Finding Nemo the musical out in the Rivers of Light. They can float on water for all I care.
Bring back the Jungle Book live.
Yeah.
Put that back on the river. Anything other than Port Orleans? Any announcement that you're hoping for in the next couple of weeks? If you had a magic 8-ball or like Madame Leota's crystal ball to see something, what do you think we will hear before we meet for Wind Down Wednesday again?
What do I think we will hear? I think there's going to be something revenue generating, whether that's Bibbidi Bobbidi, whether that's a dessert party, whether that's some more of these like extra add-on experiences. I think the next thing is going to be something that's revenue, to get more cash out of your wallet while you're there. I think they've done a lot that has excited people to come back. But like fireworks doesn't make them any money. It costs them a heck of a lot of money, but it doesn't make them any money. So I think they're gonna start throwing in some extras, either things that we've already had before, like I said, like Bibbidi Bobbidi, like dessert parties, or something brand new. That's what I think.
I think unless it's super tied to the ride and they're going to retheme it, I think by this time next week, we get an announcement about Trader Sam's reopening. Because both that, now that everything is back open, well, is soon to be open at the Poly. The only thing that is still closed down is Trader Sam's indoor and Trader Sam's patio. And that goes
the patio's not even open?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Yeah. And those two places being open go a long way to eating capacity waiting for restaurant reservations, especially now that Ohana is opening up and that Tambu Lounge area can't hold everybody that is going in for dinner between there and Kona. So I think we're going to start hearing more openings like Trader Sam's, maybe Abracadabra on the boardwalk, because I don't think that's open right now either.
No, I don't know.
So
Tune in? No. Tune in? No. What is it?
Tune in isn't open either.
Tune in?
Yeah, so all of these cool standalone lounges, Bellevue is still closed.
It is.
But Citrico's and the Citrico's Lounge and Vic and Al's is still closed.
I am going to go to Enchanted Bros at some point this July because I have not been.
The last time we were there, we thought we might get some sneak peek
waiting with bated breath. Yeah.
Instead, we just had wine from the pop-up bar in the lobby, and the bartender who worked at Meisner's told us, 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, yeah, come on, just let us in there right now.
And then I was pregnant, and then the pandemic happened. So I will be going to Enchanted Bros.
Well, we were gonna go in April too, but then Mother Nature decided to send a monsoon and keep us drinking and singing at Boathouse.
Yeah.
And Jock Lindsay's for an extra 3 hours. That's time.
Which was great.
It's totally fine. Everyone got to get their Gideon's fix.
Yeah, exactly.
So many 10-pound cookies.
Cake. So yeah, that's what I think they're gonna find ways outside of dining, because you can, argue that your two options are revenue generating, but outside of a food or beverage location, something to make people spend money. That's what I think we're going to see.
Oh, well then, non-revenue generation. We already know that Beauty and the Beast is currently casting for equity performers. Yeah. So we will definitely, I don't think we're going to hear by next week, but in the next couple weeks, we will likely hear about the remounting of the Beauty and the Beast show on Sunset Boulevard at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So we know that is coming back. And that should be in full capacity.
1st. That happens October 1st. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Like my big concern is, what are we going to do if they do Happily Ever After with a special 50th tag and the new Main Street projections on October 1st and Harmonious on October 1st?
I know. Divide and conquer? What do we do?
I don't know.
Well, we'll keep you playing. We'll keep y'all updated as plans.
I'm sure our plans will. Look, I'm the only one that I think has everything purchased already. So
yeah,
I got a rental car. I got my Universal hotel. I got my plane tickets. Thanks, Southwest 50% off sale this week. That was delightful. We've got a hotel, though we keep looking for another hotel. Come on, Port Orleans. Have no dining reservations, but we're still a ways away from that. I did make a note that I need to try for a dining reservation on the 22nd at Poly.
I like it.
Cool. Any last travel tips, travel news, anything you've got?
I don't think so. We went over the small promo for Disneyland. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. I think it's going to keep coming kind of fast and furious as things continue to get back to normal.
Yes,
I think, like Keely said at the top of the show, it might not be anything brand new. It might just be things coming back, but we're still excited about it. They can still claim it as something towards their 50th. But every day and every step that we get towards normal just feels that much better.
Yeah.
So we'll keep you posted.
I think, the other thing I'm watching for dining is hopefully with the return of Jumbo House, that means we're also getting Jico and Boma back, which Jico will just be the same as it is because it's a signature, but I'm interested to see how they tailor the menu at Boma to the newly standardized family style offerings that Disney seems to be going with all of our favorite buffet kind of restaurants, which we're doing a couple of those in July. So
yeah, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
We'll report back.
Well, thank you guys so much. If you are watching us live on Twitch, I'd appreciate if you hit that purple follow button. If you're watching us here on YouTube, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button and the bell notification, because you never know. We're getting so much news every week, fast and furious, when we may just go live with a happiest hour, or Teets has some hot takes that he wants to drop. You never know. If you follow, if you subscribe, and you sign up for notifications, you will never miss any of the quality content. Notice that I have not had a technical malfunction at all this stream today. This is my first 100% stream in a long time, because I'm a pro streamer, you guys. So hit that red subscribe button, bell notifications. Also, be sure to check out our website and follow us on social media, especially on Instagram, because we are counting down the days. And starting with July 1st, we're going to be doing Christmas in July, where we will be featuring multiple giveaways for you, our fans of the Crescent Lake Club. And that will be here on YouTube. That will be over on our socials. We've got everything from Funko Pops to special items from the parks, gift cards, you name it. There's so much stuff you're not going to want to miss, and it's a great way to get hyped for everything as everything comes back to normal and we can start looking towards the holidays. We're going to have so much stuff to give away to you guys. Christmas in July with the Crescent Lake Club starts on July 1st. As for now, that's it. For NOLA Disney Mama, Courtney, and me, we'll see you guys back here next Wednesday. So we'll see you real soon.